Welcome to the
Kiki
and Cowboy podcast. How are you doing today, Kiki?
Hello, love.
You look amazing.
Actually, the question is, how are you doing?
You doing? How are you doing?
Well, actually, I really do mean, how are you doing?
Oh, how are you doing?
As in, somebody had a rough night.
So, so Cowboy, it's weird. I think it's a Sunday. So we're recording this podcast on a typical Monday. So it's weird. Cowboy has, work on his mind, typically going to bed Sunday night. And I just get spinning. And I think also I must attribute it to, I took a vitamin, a B12, kind of late.
When you spin around in circles like that over and over again, like that.
You tend to fall over.
Yeah, that actually.
You remember as a kid, you would stand there and you put your arms straight out.
Exactly
and you
what I'm
just twirl around in
talking
circles
about.
and fall down in the yard.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Because you didn't have any toys and you're really poor, and that was fun for us.
My kids thought, and this is fairly recent, like they weren't little when they thought this. I would go to spin class.
This is last. Oh my God.
And they literally thought that's what the whole class was.
Everybody spread out and touch your fingertips to each other.
Spinning around until we fell down, I guess.
Now
I don't know, but that was because I would just say, I'm going to spin class.
Yeah, I guess it is confusing.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, and they have
that?
no, context for what on earth I'm talking about, but I don't know, just assumed that they knew. And then it was a revelation. I'm telling you, it was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That they were like, oh, that's what that class is? We thought you were spinning. Like,
yeah, just twirling. That's twirling. Well, no, that's a different class.
No, that's a whole different class too.
Yeah. What do they call it when you suspend yourself from the little ropes in the?
Oh, like the yoga trapeze, like aerial yoga.
Yeah. Yoga trapeze.
Aerial yoga.
Aerial yoga.
Yeah.
That's something.
It's a thing.
That looks intense.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. So where were we going? The sleep thing. That's right.
Yeah, the sleep thing. So you had a rough night.
I had a right. I slept about an hour. Midnight and change, and then I slept again a whole nother hour.
A whole nother hour.
Around 4:30. Woke up late for my 6 a.m. meeting, my conference call.
I think I was a contributor.
I don't know how you would say that.
I think I was a contributor to your poor night's sleep.
There's nothing you could possibly do that would wake your darling Cowboy.
Not even the slightest thing. So apparently, Kiki has the habit. I think we've actually said it on a podcast once before.
Is it a habit if it just comes naturally?
I don't know if it's a habit. Let's say, but I have a tendency, and we have not quite figured out what is the trigger. But there are some nights when we're sleeping, I'm partly thinking that Cowboy's making this up, but he swears that I just do this little kick.
It's intermittent, and I have counted.
Kind of like a little jerky
about
kick,
every
though.
30
it's not
seconds,
like a
one of her
full-blown,
legs just goes kick. Just kick.
Yeah.
About every 30 seconds, and what's interesting is it just moves the covers just enough.
Just enough.
Then I'm like, huh. Like if I'm in light sleep, I'm like, cover moves. Wait, count to 30. Cover moves. Count to 30 again. Son of a bitch. Cover moves. And I'm like,
you're like, fucking I'm trying to go to sleep over here.
Last night I almost went and got a different comforter and just shucked the comforter aside and said, F that.
Okay, so that's a good point. If the comforter
I was even contemplating,
not...
this is why old people sleep in different beds. Absolutely. One of many reasons.
Fair. So
looking forward to those days, aren't we, Kiki? Hey, gorgeous.
So that's a good scientific question. So if we weren't sharing a comforter, would my kick disrupt you? Because we actually have one of those beds that does not transfer too much motion.
It's the comforter moving.
Is really what it is.
Yeah, it's your leg because you kind of kick up, so it pulls the whole comforter.
I kick
toward up. Yeah, okay. I didn't sit up to measure the trajectory of said kick.
Okay,
but I did.
How long do these kicks go on for?
A kick lasts about a second and a half.
Well, no, I mean like the duration of the episode of kicking repeatedly.
Intermittent enough for me to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And go into the living room and lay on the sofa.
So in the past, you've laid there for an hour?
I've done it before, yes. No, or long enough to go, this isn't stopping. It's not going to stop.
I'm sorry, dear.
It's okay. I love you
Yes.
more than
my kicking and my snoring.
yes.
Mm,
Yes. That was somewhat poetic.
That's a lot of love
I love
there.
you mooring than you're kicking in the
You're
snoring.
mooring and you're
mooring.
okay.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
a mooring is what a boat hooks up to.
And then to
mooring.
add insult to injury, you got out here
yes.
to sleep, and you were finally, I think,
I was dozing off,
and our young adult decided to come in at 2:30 in the morning,
and make toast in the air fryer.
And make toast in the air fryer.
And let's just say this: I think we've all experienced this, where you're starting to
because of course that's what you have.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not only is it a dentist's favorite time of day.
If we were confident, I'm confident that there's no 9:20 happening in the house, but you would think that it was the munchies or something happening at midnight or whatnot.
Well,
that's not the case.
Yeah.
He has very poor sleep hygiene. It's
an interesting phrase.
Yeah, it's ever since he was a kid.
I never thought of working on my sleep hygiene.
Yeah, and
is that like going to bed?
It's like you're
moisture based.
No, it has nothing to do with moisture.
I haven't bathed in a couple of days.
No,
into the dirty sheets.
But it does have to do with
I've never heard it said that way.
Your rhythms. But
hold on. I'm googling sleep hygiene.
Oh, please do. I'm correct as I am with all things.
I'm putting on safe search.
I am confident. What on earth are you searching on sleep hygiene?
I'm just typing in the words.
Putting on safe search.
I mean, some of our listeners recently were deceived, not deceived, but they actually
actually Googled something you said not to Google.
I said, do not Google tortoise
have
penis.
Told our listeners.
I said, do not Google tortoise penis
ever. And
we got reports that one did.
And by the way,
and they were terrified.
When Cowboy says,
"Look at that."
Do Google something? Don't do
Definitely
that either.
Don't. There's
don't.
If we say the word Google something in a phrase, negative, positive, do not.
Just don't.
There's no reason.
There's
even
nothing
if I say
good that's
safe
coming
search
from that.
On, especially if I say safe search off. So sleep hygiene. So I looked this up.
Yes. What does AI say?
Sleep hygiene is a made-up term that women use to. No, it's a set of healthy habits and environmental factors that can help people get a good night's sleep.
Yes.
It was developed in we were developed in the 1970s.
Look at that.
Look at that. It was developed at the same time that we were developed.
That's coincidence or not?
Yeah, I think that's divine. It happened when we happened.
Exactly.
It developed in the 1970s to help people with mild to moderate insomnia.
Yes.
But clinicians can also assess sleep hygiene for other conditions like, oh my gosh, there's a list.
Like making toast at 2:30 in the morning.
So this list, I'm just scrolling. Have you seen the Star Wars scroll?
He's just scrolling.
Imagine
that
fast
scrolling.
forward across the screen. You
have to insert
may
that.
cause
That's
blindness,
hilarious.
death, dismemberment. Should not take with vitamin C. Avoid screens.
Sure. Yeah. So when he was a baby, we literally we were living in a different house at the time, and had him in the media room because there were no windows. Because
I thought you birthed him in a hospital.
Yes, when he was a baby and he came home.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
His nursery room was the media room.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's foreshadowing.
He would. So true. Because he would wake up with the roosters, the sliver of dawn would wake him up immediately. So we had to put him in a room that had absolutely no windows. You would have thought, I do agree with you that should have been some level of foreshadowing. But yes, he's a gamer and he has the worst sleep habits. So we had a fun grown up conversation about that with him and our young adult just a wee moment ago.
Yeah, and I also
it's so enjoyable for all of us.
We had a corrective conversation based on the midnight well after the 2:30 snack, and Cowboy does not when I'm not sleeping and tired, I want to give myself a little credit. I'm at least cordial versus ugly, but I can't
say that about myself.
I was direct and then it formulated a plan that we implemented. We had the typical parents sit down at the table and like, we need to talk, and it's very much the it doesn't sound like we're helping them and making their lives better, especially from their perspective.
Oh yeah,
but it's kind of like this thing. We're doing this because we care about you. And we want, and it's true. We do,
especially when they're of the belief that, wait a minute, you're making my life harder on purpose.
You're making the things I enjoy harder for me to,
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Isn't that fun, everybody?
The things I don't enjoy and don't want to do.
Isn't that our favorite thing in the entire world?
Yeah. So we had a little
I mean, that's why we all had kids. Really, was just to make them as miserable as we were, right? I mean, hello.
It's actually one of God's greatest gifts.
I mean, yeah.
So, I'm miserable. Let me spawn some children and make them miserable.
Let's pass it on.
Yes. It's an inheritance of sorts.
Of sorts.
Yeah, stories that are passed along the campfire. Buck up, kid. I do want to cue the sound effect.
Oh, cow's mooing.
Maybe not.
Now watch, he changes it.
Now he changes it to an actual like Scooby-Doo sound effect. Maybe. I want to let everybody know that my darling Kiki has a personality.
I do?
Yes.
What?
Yes. And just to affirm that, she took recently a personality test.
Yes, it was for work, actually. So we're doing
because in life we don't need personality tests.
Yeah, we're doing
clearly a corporate fabricated thing for fun.
Well, okay. I will say, as a sidebar here for anybody who is Googling, and because I'm telling you can Google it, you can. Cowboy's not.
Safe search on. In
our personal lives, I'm a big believer in certain things.
Don't Google our personal lives.
No, which is the Enneagram.
Oh, the Enneagram.
I'm a huge fan of the Enneagram. So go Google that if you want to learn more about it. I'm happy to chat with you anytime about that.
Don't Google Audiogram. It's embarrassing.
However, in this case, I was doing a
right now.
Somewhat fabricated personality index for work, and that one was called Clifton Strengths.
Yes.
So it's basically a set of, I think it's about 200 questions. It's timed, and the output is, they have a cutesy kind of DNA genome strand at the top, and each one of the lines on the genome strand is related to.
It's called a talent DNA.
Oh, there you go.
According to their website,
the talent DNA. Okay, so it is related to
34 themes.
One of DNA. 34 different themes that could be informing how you operate in the world. I really do enjoy these things. So
Slytherin, Gryffindor.
No,
wait. That's a different personality sorting.
Different, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's Game of Thrones.
Indeed. So yes, I did spend. It was supposed to take 30 minutes. I got reports today at work that some people completed it in 15 minutes.
Speed round.
Yes.
That's when you just click the answer to the right, click, right?
Yeah, or the answer to everything is C or something. I don't know.
Or in your case.
In my case, I want to say that it probably took 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. So triple the amount of time.
Was your number one trait analysis paralysis?
Well, so what was interesting, so just so I can set it up for everybody here. So
I'm clearly not letting you. I keep jumping around.
No, you're fine. 200 questions, and you were supposed to get 20 seconds to answer each question. That already is challenging for me because I know I can hear like the little Jeopardy metronome tick-tock clock behind the scenes as I'm going. And so 20 seconds goes by very quickly just because you start thinking about it, right? That the time is passing. So then you're like, I gotta hurry and do this.
Yep, you're gonna be late.
So every question is 2 different words or phrases that are paired on extremes of a spectrum. So you've got 1 word or phrase on the left, and you've got 1 word or phrase on the right. And there are 5 selection dots that you can choose from that go for strongly agree on the left, strongly agree on the right, and then there is a middle that is called neutral, and then you have kind of just one notch to the right or one notch to the left of neutral. So you could be strongly agree, you could be agree, or you could be neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seems clear-cut enough. But where I struggled was that they were pairing two words that are not necessarily exclusive of each other. So it's a little bit like I got stuck on some of these where you have to say, I strongly agree. And when I'm looking at it, I strongly agree with both things on either end of the spectrum. So how do I score that?
So I found an example.
Oh.
So let me share an example.
Okay, give me some examples. Okay, give them to me. I'll try and listen.
This is an example of a possible question from their website.
All right.
So it's strongly disagree. So strongly describes me is to the left, and it has the four little dots that you said. In the very middle is neutral.
Yes.
And to the far right, it says strongly describes me. So strong. So it has strongly describes me
on both sides.
Ends.
It's not like one or the other.
So it's basically which way do you lean and the intensity at which.
Okay.
So on the left side,
on
this one reads, I care mostly about the results.
Okay. I care about the results. Got it.
On the right side, I think about the factors that affect the situation.
See, they're not.
And if y'all didn't collectively just put your fingers on your forehead and just go mind blown.
Yes. That's my explosion sound.
Exactly.
So this is that. I love that you Googled that because that was like the whole test.
It is.
And the worst part of it is I do care about the results and I do care a lot about the factors that all go into it. So how on earth do I answer that question? So
both of them strongly describe me.
In my mind, when it's a both and instead of an either or, right? The only option was to pick the middle dot.
Yep.
Which is neutral. By the way, I don't think that word is right either. I think they should have put the word both. Right? Or a blend or a balance of them, because that's really what life is about.
Strongly
is a
describes neutral me.
Yeah. So neutral's not even the right word either, right? So needless to say, most of these personality exams, they ask you the same types of questions over and over again,
cross-references,
just to make sure that you're still giving kind of the same answer, or if you have a variation on that answer, it might inform it.
Which is also indicates a certain personality trait.
Okay, so I'm doing this test, and I'm getting several of these neutrals that I'm putting in because I keep getting these dichotomy, or like not dichotomies, but like I keep getting these both and kind of pairings of words. And then on top of it, several times I'm sitting there debating which one, I'm sitting there debating, could I at least lean a little bit to the left or right instead of the strongly, right? And it times out on me.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Is there? I think it's been 3 or 4 years since I took that. And is there a clock running? Do you see a visual clock?
No, I do not see a visual clock, so I have no idea how long I have.
Did you go to click on it and said your time is up?
Oh no, it literally changes the screen.
Oh, it went to the next
question.
So
it just goes. And it goes to a different screen and it says,
that's right,
we've noticed that you are taking a long time to answer this. If you'd like to pause this exam, then please do so and come back and finish your exam. So then you can hit next. And interestingly, you don't go to the question that they left you on. You go to a whole new question.
Yep.
So you don't get extra time. So I can't even tell you at least double-digit numbers of times where it timed out and I never answered the question, multiplied by the ones that I answered neutral to. Then we get into the second phase where I notice that the same questions start cropping up again. And I'm like, they're asking it again.
Just double checking. But
and
they probably
guess
switched
what?
the sides.
No,
it's the same side.
I don't know that it did. You know what? it doesn't matter if it's switched sides or not because the answer is still neutral. I haven't changed my opinion. It's still a blend of the two. There's a balance there. So second round of questions comes through and I still get timed out on a few times and I'm hitting neutral quite often. By the third phase of the exam, we're now getting the same questions again, but this time they have worded them slightly differently. And in some cases, I was able to at least lean a little to the right or the left, but not a lot. So we get to the results page. Awesome. I'm not sure because I haven't seen anybody else's results page, but mine has a cover sheet on it.
A warning.
And it is a warning statement that with a big box on it that says, because you have answered neutral or failed to answer a significant number of the questions in this assessment, we were unable to do a full assessment on you. We've done our best to figure out with the data you've given us, but it really, this is the clincher, it really would have been better if you just answered the questions. That's pretty much what they said. I'm like, well, you didn't let me go back.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, if you really wanted me to answer the question, you should have given me more than 20 seconds.
Yep.
So which one is it, people? Which one do you want? So you get this printout that says, here's your top 5.
Yep.
I got top 5, but now I'm like, I don't even know if this is me. I can't trust any of it because clearly I answered neutral so many times.
Yep.
And then what's interesting is
know what type of person
we might not. And on the grid, they've kind of color coded it. There's like 4 major colors. There is one whole segment of color that like I don't show up in at all.
It's grayed out.
Like completely.
It's like colored over with crayon.
It's absolutely just like.
Does not apply.
Yeah, does not apply. So I have no idea what that means for me. So
I know what it means.
Yeah, you know what does it mean, dear?
It's your tornadic
is
personality.
It my tornadic?
It's chaos.
Yes.
It's the chaos
so
gene.
Even while I'm trying to do my best, comply, I even carved out time in my day. So as I was like, okay, I don't want to rush through this. I want to give
Clearly
it the
not.
appropriate amount of time.
I want to take 25 seconds to answer a 20-second question. That's my darling right there.
So I broke the personality test.
It's okay. Well, they broke the mold when they made you, dear.
Oh,
so of course
yeah,
you
gross.
I found another.
Okay, give it to me.
Can I give you another sample
me.
question?
Yes.
So you have 20 seconds to answer this.
All right.
Everybody ready? You ready to start the timer?
Okay. I'm ready.
On the left is I plan every move.
Okay.
On the right is I always trust my gut feeling. Which one strongly describes you?
Neutral.
No.
Yes, because here's the thing. I love to plan stuff.
How can you plan every move?
I'm a total planner.
And always trust your gut feeling.
Okay, but I'm a total planner and I do have a strong gut instinct about some things, but not all things. So but it's kind of a little bit of both.
But are you more likely to plan every move, or are you more likely to trust your gut feeling?
Neither.
And just jump in with both feet?
No, neither. It's both.
Yeah.
It's very situational.
See, this is very easy for me. I'm like, it strongly describes me as I trust my gut feeling. Let's go.
Oh,
boom, out the door.
If we were talking about your birthday party, I would say I plan every move. And if we
trust your gut feeling to plan every move, so I see how you're neutral.
No. And
I see what you're saying.
And then in a different situation where maybe I am, in a meeting and I'm reading people's body language, and I'm like, oh, I'm reading the room here, and I'm like, oh no, my gut tells me that is not a good time to bring up something, right? Then I'm trusting my gut. Yeah. So like, it's fully one thing, it's fully the other thing. It just kind of...
Or when you're filling up a car tire with a device you've never used, man. I trust my gut feeling because I'm not even reading the directions in the dark.
I did. And it worked out well for me.
So you see how...
it worked out for me? I fully trusted my gut.
See, I think you pretty much...
I'm all in on whichever one I am.
That's correct, which makes it neutral. I can see how this happened. I actually can see this. And again, it doesn't surprise me.
Why would they pair things that make no sense that way?
What I like is that you broke it.
I know.
Two,
He's rubbing his eyes right now.
Yes,
people.
Your personality
he's like,
broke the personality.
He's literally like face palming and like rubbing his.
That's the woman
like,
I married.
How you?
Does everybody understand that?
How you have
this
like a headache and you're just like
it's in between your eyes. It's the tension because
you're breaking my brain.
Lexi broke the test.
Do you have other ones?
Let's see.
I want a couple others.
All right,
you're gonna answer them too. So
like,
I want to
see. Give me
see.
more. I'm just scrolling down there. Lengthy. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh.
Jeopardy music.
Oh my gosh, it's like the SAT test. You want to take a prep test? There's a prep test for the personality test.
Oh my gosh, that's what I did wrong.
Oh my gosh, you can pay $129 for a prep test for Clifton Strengths.
I didn't.
That is the worst.
Now that's where I would not plan. Right?
Yep.
Like, so see, that's where it breaks again for me because I'd be like, that's too much work. I'm not like cheating on my personality test. I mean, I can break it all by myself. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Questions were like this. Okay, here we go.
I'm just really super curious.
I'm here.
Struggle.
I'm already there. Okay.
All right.
On the left, on one side, it says, I am passionate about education. So, listeners chime in here. I'm passionate. Listen again. I'm passionate about education. Or I am passionate about eliminating violence.
Yes, that was one of the questions I had.
Clearly, you're neutral. Like, I don't give a shit about either of those.
I was neutral.
I'm not passionate about either of those things.
I'm a former educator.
Yeah, but if you select neutral, the logic there is I have no passion about either of these subjects.
No, it means that it's the
middle. I don't give a flying F about education or violence.
No, that's not. But see, that's why I think the word is wrong.
I don't think that.
That's the word is wrong. That should have been I'm a balance between the two. That's what I picked.
Yes, you're a balance between caring about education and
ending violence.
And
why are those mutually exclusive? Like, why would they be on a
which one's your greater passion?
That's
all
that
it's
makes
asking.
no sense. It's not which one's. It says which one best describes you.
I am
like you have to pick.
Here's what happens in the cowboy's brain when I read that.
Okay.
Education, a well-educated populace has less violence.
Versus
I'm more passionate about education because that will eliminate violence.
Well, what if a less violent world allows for better education because now there's peace and people can pay attention? If you think about Maslow's hierarchy, the most important thing is actually to have safety before you have education because you can't learn anything if you're unsafe.
But we're already past that in a society.
I don't think we are.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah,
I like debating this with you.
But you see,
want to do this.
We're past 20 seconds now.
I know,
and that's why
I know.
I don't.
Hence my problem.
You're thinking too much. Is really what it is. I've got three more. For you.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I am good at figuring out how people who are very different can work together.
Okay.
I have a gift for treating different people equally.
Yes, both on that one. Both. Oh.
I select. I have a gift for treating different people equally.
No, I like both.
I'm not good at figuring out people. Figuring out people that was the operative phrase. I'm out.
I love to know how people work. I love to figure out like the intricacies of like.
So again, you're
why
neutral.
Are they making that? And at the same time, I really enjoy like making people feel
equality.
welcome and yeah.
Okay, let's see how you lean on this one then.
All right.
I'm going to venture a guess. Everybody.
Do you think it's going to be neutral?
I'm whispering to the audience. I think it's neutral. She can't hear us. It's neutral.
Yeah, there's no way.
Okay, I think most people will steal if the conditions are right. On the other side, I believe that people who steal should be punished. See, I'm leaning to the left on that. I think most people will steal if the conditions are right.
I think
if
both.
It's consequence free. No, I believe that people who steal should be punished.
But they're not exclusive of each other. So yes, I do believe that if the conditions are right, somebody would steal. Like if they're starving,
but I believe more
and
strongly
they need it, right?
That
and at the same time, do people who steal? Should there be punishment for it?
Okay, so
sure.
But this is the logic in my head: is a child is starving.
Okay,
they are going to die.
Yes.
They steal a piece of bread.
Yes.
Should they be punished?
I would say no, they shouldn't be punished. And at the same time, I would say
the conditions were right.
There are circumstances where maybe you have somebody who is in need of money that doesn't have it and they decide to go steal it by robbing a bank.
If the conditions are right.
Yep. They go do it. I believe that that'll happen.
Yep.
And yeah, I think they should be punished for that.
Right.
And no, I don't think a child who is starving should be punished for having.
I'm just saying you have to
trying to get food.
I think what makes why I
situational.
Why
you aced it? I like this.
Is because they're two of my Clifton strengths.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, we don't know what mine are, so
we don't. It's all grayed out.
It's reported that they are. I have no idea what.
All right, I've got
indecision
one more.
And,
yes. Yeah. And overanalysis.
Overanalysis.
Yes. And chaos with this little sprinkling of chaos.
You would think that I would have a very skillful job, like in celebrity PR or something like that, with the thought process that I have going all the time, but I don't.
A DMV clerk.
A DMV clerk is more likely.
All right, here's the last one before we close out the show.
All right.
I rely on experts to help me find the right answers.
Okay.
Or answers and issues naturally emerge from me to see.
I hate every single one of the questions. Every one of the questions that you have read to me was on my test. I swear to you.
I think this is actually part of the test.
This is the test here.
Yeah.
Probably part of the podcast is the test as well. Well, you already know what my answer is. It's neutral.
So
but the word neutral's wrong. I just debate the word neutral. Well, I need an expert. If there's a Clifton Strengths expert, I would like to have you on a phone call. Put your
contact info in the chat.
Yeah, we're going to have you as a guest on the call, and you can explain to me how this makes sense, because it makes no sense to me.
Well, the thing is because I'm holding a phone and I Google everything, I think I have to say strongly describes me too. I rely on experts to help me find the right answers. The one on the right, answers and issues naturally emerge for me to see. The only time that happens is when I've slept well.
Oh,
come on, bringing it back.
Yeah, you are.
Which is,
I'm neutral because on the one hand, I love my podcast. I love listening to experts.
She does.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, you
consume,
delve into expertise.
I do, and
which you'll find none of that in this show.
This is where I'm going to throw some shade at Cowboy. I happen to be very good at the connections game, where you have to connect various different things without a lot of context and be able to...
Are you good? You never play. I found that you never play.
That's because I'm so good that I just whoop your ass every time. I don't want to
Is that right? I hear a challenge.
I don't want to shame you.
No, can you solve today's? I'm flashing it at her. Can you solve today's?
Solve today's?
Yeah, let's see.
I already did.
No, you didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, she's not even looked at it.
I have not even looked at it.
All right, we'll save connections in these other online games.
Yeah, you're very good at Wordle,
episode.
though. I am a disaster at Wordle. I can't, it breaks my brain.
I think today's word was neutral.
Maybe that should be your starting word from now on.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's only 5 letters. So.
You can spell it differently.
What's a synonym for neutral? That's 5 letters. We'll call it.
He's literally typing on his phone right now. It makes great podcasting.
I'm using one of my starter words. So okay, so I think that's where we're losing our audience.
Yes,
we're losing Cowboy's attention. Apparently,
we're losing all of us.
So to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to our vapid ramblings once again. We're just happy that we have
vapid.
Hear another podcast coming. Next week on Kiki and Cowboy, is it vapid or vapid, or are we neutral on that? We'll find out next week. So again, thank you for joining us on Misadventures with
Kiki
and Cowboy.
Love
Bye,
you
everybody.
Guys. Bye.